it's Jaclyn, and today I'm going to film a video about my Wendy Orlando experience. Initially, I wasn't going to film a video about this just because I didn't want people to take it the wrong way or think that I was bragging or anything like that, because that's not what I want to do at all. A bunch of you guys kept on commenting that you wanted to see a video about this, and the more I thought about it, if I had a friend who got to have the experience that I did, I would want to hear about it and share their excitement with them. So that is what I'm going to do today. I just wanted to start off this video and say that I am so grateful for all the experiences that I got to have, and I wanted to say that it would not have been possible if it wasn't for Ashley. She was the one who won the contest to actually go down to Orlando, so thank you so much, Ashley. I owe you everything. So I guess I'll start from the beginning. Basically, my best friend Ashley called me and told me that she had won the Wendy Orlando contest for Canada, and I was freaking out. I honestly could not believe it. Like, out of everyone in Canada, how did she win? I still don't understand. So I was lucky enough to have her take me to Orlando, and it was the best experience of my life. So we got flown in on the Sunday, which was the 16th, and I think that was the day a majority of the contest winners got flown in on. So it was pretty secretive, like, what was happening, but they did send us an itinerary, and what we did know for sure is that we got to go to the Today Show on the 17th, which was the Monday, and that we got to have a secret performance on the 17th, which was the Tuesday. We honestly didn't really know what to expect, but we were just so excited. So I guess I'll start from the Monday, which was the 17th, the day of the Today Show. So we woke up that morning on the Monday at 2 in the morning, and we were so excited. We were like blasting the album and just like having so much fun. And we had a bus to catch at like 4 in the morning, and they drove us to Wendy Orlando. They drove us to City Walk. So we got breakfast and we got to hang out with all the other contest winners, which was really fun. And then they led us down to where we were standing for the Today Show, and that is when I almost lost my cool, because they let us down to the very front row, and it was like literally touching the stage. So basically we got to watch the Today Show front row, which was absolutely insane. Was that my sink making that noise? Weird. Anyways, so basically we were freaking out. We were having so much fun, and all of the boys were so sweet. Within like the first 10 minutes of them coming out, Harry like looked over in my direction, and I kind of like freaked out. I didn't know what to say, so I was just like, where's the bun? Because he had like the little man bun in during sound check, and he took it out when they were actually taping it. So I just was like, where's the bun? I probably sounded so stupid. And then he just kind of like smirked, and he's like, it's in my pocket. And I was like, oh my god. Whew. So I was just trying to like regain strength after that, because I was honestly about to lose it just at that.
Where's the bun? Where's the bun? Your bun! Harry, put it on!
And looking back at the video now, I think that's when Harry recognized me. Basically, to make a long story short, I was fortunate enough to go to a couple of the Where We Are tours this summer. Okay, so basically I'm gonna just try to explain this side story as quick as I can. Basically, on the way to the second Detroit show this summer, I happened to be driving behind Harry on the way to the venue, and it was like an hour before the show started, and no one had any idea he was like in the car in front of me. So when we got to the venue, I hopped out of my car and I walked up to his, and I was like, hi, I absolutely adore you, like I'm so excited for the show tonight kind of thing. And he was like, I'm sorry, like I can't like get out of the car or anything like that. And I was like, oh my god, no, like it's okay, I totally understand, because there was literally like girls walking like on the sidewalks, like right outside the venue, and no one had any idea. And I was like, no, I totally understand, like it'll cause a scene. Anyways, I'm so excited for the show tonight, I love you, whatever kind of thing. And basically then his car drove off, and he got into like the gates and went inside the venue. And after that moment, I was just kind of like freaking out, because I had never like met the boys before or anything like that, and that was the first time I was like face to face like with Harry. I'm sure you can tell, even just me talking about it, I'm like getting giddy about it. Basically that night at the show, Harry actually recognized me in the crowd, and he was like, you're the one from the car, and I was like, oh my god, yes. And I was like freaking out, and I think when he said that, I literally dropped to the ground. And luckily I had an aisle seat, so I had like dropped to the ground, but like he could still see me since I was like in the aisle at the end of the catwalk. And he started like laughing or whatever, and then I jumped back up and I started like dancing and jumping around, because I was just literally so happy, and he was like mocking me and dancing, and Anyways, it was just the coolest thing in the world. So that happened, and actually at another show, Harry recognized me and he's like, "You're the one who dances," and he like started like mocking my dancing again, and honestly, I am speechless. Like, I didn't even know what to do. Anyway, so I hope that story kind of made sense. So getting back to the Today Show, when I was like, "Where's the bun?" and Harry like smirked, I think that's when he realized like it was me. Obviously in the moment I had no idea that like he had recognized me or anything. Once they were finished filming the Today Show, they came around to all the contest winners at the front and were like signing autographs. And so I asked Harry to sign my phone, and then he kind of like looked up and he's like, "You're the one who dances all the time." And I was like, yes! It literally sounds like I'm having a heart attack in that video. But I was just so caught off guard and I wasn't expecting him to say anything or recognize me or anything at all. And he turned to go and sign someone else's phone, and he stopped and turned back around. He's like, "Say hi to your parents." And I was like, oh my god.
You're the one who danced a lot.
Basically, when we were driving to Detroit, obviously my two parents were in the front seat because they were the ones driving me. I think Harry didn't think that like a fan or anyone knew that he was in that car because it probably just looked like two like random adults driving in the car. Anyway, so he gave a shout out to my parents and I was like, not okay. And I was literally on cloud 9 ever since he said that. As they were signing autographs, Liam kept coming over and like asking to use my Sharpie, and it was super cool and he was super sweet. I also saw Louis leaning down to take a selfie with someone. So when I saw Louis bending down to take photos, I literally like darted over there, and in the back of my mind, all that I'm thinking is, oh my god, Ashley, because Louis is Ashley's favorite, and all she wanted was a selfie with him and to like meet him. So I went over and I get a selfie, and literally as I'm taking a picture with him, all that's going through my mind is, oh my god, where the heck is Ashley? Like, why isn't she here? Like, where the heck did she just go? I was like, thank you so much for the picture, Louis, but do you mind waiting like 2 seconds? Like, I have to go grab my friend. Like, she will be devastated if she doesn't get a picture with you. Please. It's like, oh yeah, no worries. Like, take your time, go grab her, tell her to come over. And he was like so sweet and so patient. So I like ran back over to where she was standing. I think she was getting like Liam's autograph or something. So I grab her arm and I was like, Ashley, get over here. And I run over, I was like, Louis waiting to take a picture with you. And she's like freaking out. And she got her selfie with Louis and she was the happiest. And I was just so happy to see like her dream come true. Ashley was actually crying so much that Liam's mom came up to me and was like, is she okay to Ashley? And I was like, yeah, no, she's fine. These are happy tears. Don't worry, don't worry. But we were having so much fun. So after the Today Show, me and Ashley decided that we would go back to our hotel and kind of like rest and get some food in us because we had been up so early. And that night we were scheduled to go to Universal Studios after the park closed, and we didn't really know what was happening, but we knew that we got to go. So we got ready again, and I think I took another shower because I was so gross and so sweaty from the Today Show. It was absolutely disgusting. So they drove all of us contest winners back to the park, and they had actually separated us into groups of like our favorites. Basically, when we had registered at the hotel, they made us like choose who our favorite was. So obviously obviously Ashley's favorite was Louis, so we checked off Louis, and all of the Louis girls got put together when we got to the park, all the Niall girls, and so on and so on. And that alone should have been enough of a clue to me about what was about to happen, but I was so naive and I had no idea what was happening. So we got to go on like the Transformer rides by ourselves, and it was cool because there was like no lines and obviously anything like that. And then Calla actually had interviewed me and Ashley after the ride. He was like, how was the ride? How was it like being in Universal without any like people kind of thing? And at that point I was kind of thinking, okay, no, you know what, the boys aren't gonna be here. Like, they just want to show for the special that we got to go to like Universal Studios. I don't know honestly what I was thinking. It was raining that night, and I was actually talking to one of the girls who was helping host the event, and she was saying that like things had got messed up since it was raining and the schedules were kind of crazy, so I was thinking that nothing was gonna happen. Little did I know she was totally like pranking us and playing along that nothing was gonna happen, so we would react bigger when something did happen. So all the Louis girls got brought over to Harry Potter World, and they put us in line for the ride, and like the line wasn't moving. It literally took like an hour and a half, and we're like, what the heck is happening? I was so confused. So I was talking to that girl again, asking her kind of like what was going on, and she was saying that they were just filming all the winners getting on the ride, and they were like doing shots like that. so it just would take some time kind of thing. And I was like, oh, okay, like that kind of makes sense. I feel so stupid like talking about it now, because like what else would they have been doing? Anyways, it's kind of hard though, because like in the moment you have no idea what's about to happen. So fortunately we were like at the end of the line, so when it was finally our turn to get onto the ride, we walk on and like sit down in the little seats. And I was kind of like worried about my skirt, because the way the seat was, like something went in between your legs, and I was wearing like a long like maxi skirt. So I was just kind of like, oh, like how am I supposed to sit down in this seat? I have a skirt on, and like not even paying attention to anything going on around me. So I sit down and I get locked in, and I look up and I hear somebody say in some British accent, enjoy the ride, or have fun on the ride, or something like that. So I looked up and I was kind of like, what the heck? Like who is this person trying to fake a British accent? Like I understand we're in like the Harry Potter ride, but this is kind of like ridiculous, come on. So I look up and I see Louis Tomlinson standing in front of me in a Gryffindor outfit. And I honestly was like in shock. I just like stared at him. And meanwhile, all this is happening. Our ride is like moving, like we're about to like take off. And I was just like staring at his skin, and it was glowing, and it was so like radiant. I honestly thought someone was wearing a mask, and like it was like a look-alike. I was just so caught off guard. I honestly had no idea what was happening. Keep in mind, all this is happening within like a span of like 25-30 seconds. And all of a sudden something in my brain like clicked. I was like, oh my god, that is Louis Tomlinson standing right in front of you, and you aren't saying anything. Like, what is wrong with you, kind of thing. So all I could think to say in that moment is, can I at least touch your hand or something? So I reached out and like grabbed his hand, and then I was like, you can't do this to us. And he's like, what? And then before you knew it, we like took off, and I was like literally in shock. Then I turned to Ashley, and I think I started like screaming in her face. The whole time on the ride, I think I was shouting, oh my gosh, you guys got it so good. And I was just like freaking out, because I honestly did not see it coming at all. It was honestly the best like surprise ever. So we finally finished the ride and we got off, and one of the crew came up to me and they were like, oh, do you girls mind if you guys like stay behind and just wait for a second? And I was like, yeah, like of course. So eventually their cameramen and their crew come on over, and they put like the lights on us, and they start interviewing us, and they were asking us questions like, what was it like being so close and then getting like torn away, and like things like that. And they were interviewing us for like a good 5 minutes, and all of a sudden they're like, well, here he is, and he like came out, and we hugged him. And it was funny, he was talking to us, and at one point he was saying like we won passes to Universal Studios for like the rest of our lives to go whenever we wanted. And I was honestly so stupid in the moment. I was like, oh my god, thanks Louis, like that is so cool. And like looking back at it now, he was totally being sarcastic, but like I don't even know, that's the only thing I can honestly remember us saying. And then at the end we were like, do you mind if we get some pictures? He's like, of course, let's take some pictures. We did like some group photos, and we got some selfies, which was whew, so amazing. And it was literally everything I could have wanted and more. Louis was honestly so sweet to us, and he was so patient, and he was so kind and so funny, and he was just the sweetest thing ever. So then Louis left, and the crew was like, okay, you guys are good to go, and they wrapped it all up. So all of the Louis girls eventually got brought over to the Hulk ride, and we got to go on that ride as well. And me and Ashley were honestly still like on such a high and freaking out that we couldn't even like focus. I think the whole time on the Hulk ride, Ashley was like in shock, and I could not stop giggling because I was just so giddy. There's actually a really funny photo of us from that ride. So I'm not really sure how we managed to fall asleep that night. But the next day, which was the 18th, which was the day of the secret performance, we woke up and we didn't really have anything on the itinerary, I think up until around like 3 o'clock, and we were told that we had to meet at Universal and go to the fan zone for some like secret surprise. So we finally got let into the fan zone, and we were told that the boys were gonna come out and answer a few questions. And basically everyone like kind of went as close as they could to the stage, but there was like sidewalks on the side, and I was already wearing like heeled booties, but I was like, I'm gonna stand on this little sidewalk because it's raised and I'll get like a better view. So I stood kind of on the side, but mind you, there was only like 100 people, if that. It seemed like absolutely nothing. So you're basically close like wherever you were standing. So the boys had walked out on stage, and like within the first couple of minutes, Harry like made eye contact with me, and I didn't really know what to do, so I just kind of like stuck my tongue out at him. I was like, like I don't know why I did that, but I kind of panicked, and he stuck his tongue out back at me and like went like that back to me. I was like, what just happened? And at this point, me and Ashley had actually gotten separated because she like went to like the front of the stage, and I was like standing on the sidewalk like I said. So I was like, did anyone else just see that? Like, what the heck? And I didn't get it on video or anything like that, so I was just kind of like, whew, like I just need to digest that just happened and breathe. So they were getting interviewed, and one of the questions was, Harry, where did broken hearts go? So I think he literally went for 2 seconds about to respond, and I had no control and blurted out to me. And I think honestly, as soon as I said that, I kind of like put my hand to my mouth. I was like, oh my god, Jaclyn, what is wrong with you? Like, have control over yourself, like be quiet, just calm down kind of thing. So he looked over and he was like, sure, to you. This girl's been to a couple of the shows on tour. She dances like crazy. And then I was like, my name's Jaclyn. And again, my mouth wasn't listening to my brain and I just couldn't stop blurting things out. And he's like, Jaclyn. And I'm like, oh my god, did you really just say my name? And he's like, yeah, she's a very talented dancer. And I was like, oh my god, this is literally the funniest thing ever. And I know it might sound stupid if you're not a fan, but I honestly started like tearing up. I honestly just absolutely adore him, and I just couldn't believe that, I don't know, that he said that. And I know he's just like a regular person and you shouldn't flip out from that, but as silly as it sounds, it honestly like meant a lot to me. Basically, once they were done getting interviewed, one of the cameramen came over to me and they asked if I would stay back and get interviewed, and obviously I was like, of course, yes, I would love to. So I stayed back for a couple of minutes after. They asked me some questions and they probably got the funniest and most embarrassing footage of me because I was literally acting like I was 8 years old. I couldn't even form proper sentences, and even just talking about it now, I am still finding it hard to form proper sentences. After that all happened, all the contest winners got brought back to a restaurant and we got to eat right before the secret performance. So as we were eating dinner, Ashley got a text or a tweet from someone saying, I think One Direction just posted an Instagram video talking about your friend Jaclyn, like I'm not really sure kind of thing. So Ashley told me that and I was like, what? And I didn't have any data since obviously I'm from Canada, so I don't have internet when I was down there. Basically, we ended up watching the video and One Direction posted the clip of that happening, so bless them for posting it and taping it because I had no footage of it. I literally just replay it and hear him say like Jaclyn, and I'm like, whoo, buddy.
Sure. To you. This girl came to a few of the shows on tour and she dances like crazy. I've never seen anyone. Jaclyn.
Jaclyn, alright.
Is a very talented dancer.
He is honestly just the sweetest person in the world, and he knows how to make every fan feel super important and super special, and I just love him. So that night it was the NBC show taping and we had so much fun. We got to be like front row and watch them perform for like 3 hours, and although it was like freezing cold, it was the best night ever. Before one of the songs, Harry came over to me and he's like, are you okay? Like, are you cold? Like, are you okay kind of thing? And I was like, oh my gosh, yes, I am fine, don't worry, like I'm good. And he was just, you know, being him, super sweet and checking in on everyone. Basically, after that happened, Louis said at one point that he was gonna hop down into the crowd and talk to some fans. So he hopped down and started interviewing a few people, and basically Louis came over to us and he was asking us how we were enjoying Orlando and if we were having fun at Universal, and he gave us hugs, and it was just honestly the coolest thing ever. He was so sweet yet again.
Right, so what have you been up to over the last couple of days?
We went to Universal and then we got to eat out last night.
And have you had fun? Has this been a great trip at Universal? Are you going to come again and again?
It's been the best trip ever, you guys. It's been amazing.
So that's basically everything that I wanted to talk about. We honestly had the time of our lives and it was the most incredible trip ever. If someone told me a couple years ago when I went to go see One Direction open for Big Time Rush that all of this would have happened, I honestly don't think I would have believed it, because what happened was honestly beyond any of like my wildest dreams. I wanted to say a big thank you to Joe, our Sony rep, and to like Megan and Jaclyn, and obviously to Ashley again. So I hope this entire video wasn't me just blabbering on how much I love One Direction. I hope that this was actually understandable. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that this answered some of your guys' questions, and this just goes to show that you don't need to have connections or to pay for an experience like this to happen. I was honestly just some random fan that got extremely lucky. But yeah, that is the entire video. I hope that you enjoyed watching this. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you soon. Bye.